Andor, Season 2, Episodes 4 through 6. I know we came in harsh last week, but this week, boy, were we wrong. They came in strong, and this is exactly what a spy espionage is supposed to look like within the Star Wars universe. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back for Geek Variants. Cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time on Andor, Season 2, Episodes 4 through 6. I gotta say, this was absolutely fantastic writing. I don't know if we had the same writer all the way throughout, but the pacing was actually loads better this week than it was last week. Last week's episodes felt dry, it felt barren, it felt like we were just stretching everything out so we could hit an episode quota. This week, it felt like we had actual pace. We had an actual story. We had a cinema playing out for all eyes to see. And boy, was it a marvel to behold. It was everything that you could have wanted. We had cameos from Saw Gerrera. We had cameos from Director Krennic. Mon Mothma was front and center on this. We had major players throughout the rebellion, and we had Grand Moff Tarkin name dropped several times throughout the episode, and even the Emperor was brought up at length throughout this episode, showing just exactly what the stakes are for our heroes. Because what we saw so far in this universe, at least in the movies I'll speak to, is how little they paid attention to the small folk. It was literally Jedi, Sith, generals, maybe Han Solo and Chewbacca. No one else mattered. Right now, we're building upon the little people like Andor and Mon Mothma, who helped build up everything to support our heroes and our villains for each side, respectively. So we're kind of getting a really front eye view of what is to come. And with the stakes as high as they are, you can see that some of our heroes are starting to either crack or really start to shine. In this series of episodes, Bix was all over the place, and we completely understand why. Bix has been she's been through some stuff. Let's just leave it at that and touching it on a light note. She's got severe PTSD, she's got trauma, she's got a lot of psychological issues that being a spy and being a woman in a spy position where the empire is known for being, how do we put this? Brutish, thuggish, boorish, things of that nature around people of that particular gender. And she has dealt some significant side effects of it. And she's just in a tough position to be in. Andor is very reassuring. He's very hopeful for her, but he's also exceptionally protective of her. And this is his major weakness. Being the spy that he is, having someone he loves, Luthen feels is just an absolute liability, something you can't have, something that in this industry will get you killed. So Luthen and Andor have been at odds for a while in the year in between episodes. And Andor, well, now excelling in his spy role as being able to be someone that Luthen can go send out to go handle any number of excellent jobs, be able to pick up new identities, new disguises, and wear the brand new face allegedly that he's putting on with each new character and facade he's playing. He's doing an excellent job of bringing that to life. You believe in what he's saying, you believe in what he's doing, you believe in the passion of what's going on. But when it came to Gorman, he didn't believe in them or the mission. He didn't believe in Gorman because they're being hasty. They're being rash. They're trying to start an insurgency from the ground up because they got started late. And now they're trying to put their foot on the gas to catch back up with everybody else like Mon Mothma and Luthen, who are basically ahead of the curve, but they still are trying to be as radical as, say, Saw Gerrera. Saw Gerrera being shown at all was something I didn't really have much on my bingo card. I know he'd been teased and he had been kind of brought up in some fan conjecture, but at the same time, seeing him being as active as he was crazy to me. I didn't really think that Saw was going to be a character that we saw because of just how extreme his version of rebellion is. Well, Mon Mothma is for political gain and for trying to maneuver people into the right place and just trying to stall the Emperor and trying to get money set aside so that Luthen can continue his operation and trying to be subtle and just do their facade of pretending to be pretentious and, going to all these dinner parties and these lavish ordeals. Saw Gerrera is the exact opposite of that. Boots on the ground, weapons at the ready, just causing panic, havoc, and straight up unruly chaos in everything he's doing. Saw is completely unhinged as usual, and we can see that, he had a tough upbringing. Now he's completely embraced insanity at its finest, which is why in Rogue One it just kind of made sense that Saw was the person that he was, doesn't it? But also, we get one of Star Wars' more interesting dynamics. We see that the spy couple was sent to replace Andor because he was getting soft and didn't believe in Gorm and their mission in order to facilitate starting to take some weapons from the Empire so they can facilitate their own version of a rebellion. We saw that they went in his stead. They are very experienced, they're very intelligent, they know exactly what the plan needs to be, and they knew exactly how to speak to everybody to get that plan to be in motion. Or so we were led to believe. As it turns out, youthful exuberance and willpower apparently trumps the rules at times, and rules tend to be there for a reason. The rules don't bring a weapon. We were literally on a espionage mission for silence and security. We were just here to hit the one tanker, take what we can, and skedaddle. Homeboy decided it would be a great idea to not only pack, but the first instant that he ran into someone that he even knew on Gorm, he decided it was time to not only brandish your weapon, but decide to try and play hero and pretend that this is bigger than all of us, and I'm going to be that grand hero. And he decides to get in a fight with this other local individual who's we've saw throughout 2 episodes was kind of a loudmouth who didn't really follow a lot of rules, but at the same time was very, very proud and wanted to save his people. So I'm sure if things had been talked out and discussed with him accordingly, things probably would have been fine. He wasn't going to be a snitch. He would have followed the rules. Things would have played out correctly. Instead, they get into this wrangling for a blaster rifle, and next thing you know, it goes off. And it takes out one of our power couple because they had just gotten back together after a year of being apart because being a spy tore them apart. And now we're down a member of the team because youthful exuberance, foolish pride, and this is the pain and stake of growth on two different sides of the coin here. The rebellion is in a hurry to take down the Empire. And on the other side of that coin is the Empire, slowly trying to bait the rebellion out to come after them and fight them openly. And they just need to make sure that they have the right people. So when they put their foot down, they want to make sure they catch the right ants and squish them accordingly. So we're having a whole fun game of cat and mouse led by Mon Mothma, Director Krennic, and all of our other players, such as Cyril and such as our spies that we have going out here. And we're seeing that Luthen is even starting to lose his cool because he planted a bug at Sculdun's, which ultimately led to a crazy series of events where we have literally Mon Mothma and Director Krennic in the same room battling verbally about the differences in being a rebellion and a freedom fighter and what a traitor is. And they are just trading wits back and forth, having a great time, discussing their proverbial points, all while still pretending that this isn't like some kind of political joust fest. They are having this whole espionage thing while someone from Luthen's side is literally trying to hand turn a stuck listening device that had been implanted inside one of these fake relics that Luthen had pawned off on him in a rather extravagant deal. So, for all intents and purposes, we have this battle over here in the same room as the battle is going on right over there. Spy and espionage comes in many forms, whether it be political or boots on the ground. But the best plans usually are not born in haste, but born of patience and perseverance. And we're seeing that Andor, or Cassian, so to speak, is someone, while being patient, has made a lot of the right plays. Luthen, on the other hand, is willing to risk everything in order for his rebellion by ignoring Cassian, putting the boots on the ground in Gorm, and willing to put their lives at risk in order to have this rebellion go up in a grand scale. All the while, Bix, who has been struggling with PTSD, decided to take life into her own hands, and she snuck in to the people who tortured her previously in the last season of Andor, torture that individual, and then blast out an Imperial Guard on the way out. Because why not? Let's just draw more unwanted attention to the rebellion while we're at it. Next week's going to be crazy. I'm excited for it now. Thus far, This series has delivered at least in these 3 episodes because of the last week's stuff. I wasn't feeling it. This week, I for sure am all aboard Andor. For Geek Variants, be sure to hit that lovely subscribe button because you just listened to me ramble for over 10 minutes. Clearly, there's something here in the content you love to hear about, and we have tons of other great stuff coming, such as Last of Us, more Skyrim live play, Supermarket Simulator, and more. I'm for Geek Variants. We'll see you in the next one.